Welcome to my second day in the ancient Arabian oasis of Al Ula. In today's video, we'll begin at the ancient site of Hegra, journey through the desert, encounter a strangely named rock, and a few more surprises. There's some teeth there. Possibly something that got eaten by wolves. Then we'll return to Al Ula's old town to pick up where I left off the day before, when torrential rains and flooding cut my visit short. The chances are very, very high that you've heard of Petra, but the chances are maybe just a little bit slimmer that you've heard of this place, Hegra. Though Petra was larger and inhabited for a longer period, both Petra and Hegra were once cities of the Nabatean kingdom thousands of years ago. Today, they're both important archaeological sites that anyone can visit. So, Hegra, you might have seen it written, is Madain Salih. In Arabic, that means the cities of Salih. Basically, this is the place that really puts Al Ula and this whole area on the map. There are a lot of similarities, or so I've been told there are a lot of similarities to what you'll see at Petra. I've been to Petra, but right now I'm just waiting to go on a little tour here at Hegra, because that's how you visit this place. They have organized tours and it costs 95 Saudi Arabian riyals. And it was just a little bit over a 30-minute drive away from where I'm staying in Al Ula. And here you can see that it is the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in Saudi Arabia. But one thing to note if you're ever visiting this place is that on your ticket it's going to say one time. My ticket says 10:30. The real time that the tour will start is going to be 30 minutes later than that. So if you show up 30 minutes early, or what you think is on time, they give you some free drinks and stuff. You can also buy coffee. It also smells nice, is rodent-free, and has a gift shop where you can shop to your heart's content. So basically how it works to visit this site is you either take this organized bus tour, or you can book a private buggy or whatever you call that thing. The price for one of those cars, I believe, is about 1,000 riyals though. The price for this tour, like I said, was 95 riyals per person. There's two of us, so multiply that by 2. This was just much, much cheaper. But maybe if you had a really large group, or just no budget limit, you could book that private tour. And I guess you'd have a little bit more flexibility. But the thing about this organized tour here is that there's like not that many people here. Less than 10 on the tour. Okay, maybe not quite under 10, but the bus is not full. And hypothetically, since everybody else's ticket also said to arrive at 10:30 and it's 10:55, there shouldn't be anyone else coming. But I guess I was just a little bit over hopeful, because in a matter of minutes the bus was completely full and finally the tour began. After a bit of a drive through the desert and some rushed explanation between Arabic and English, we'd made it to our first stop of the tour. Big. So quickly I've realized that it's really worth shelling out a little bit of extra money and taking a more private tour. This is mass tourism at its least finest. But anyway, the first stop they take you on, out of 4 stops by the way, is Al Diwan. This big room here that's been carved out of the rock is thought to have been used by Nabatean elites for different kinds of gatherings and discussion. And you can see it was kind of the ideal place. It has some sort of fortification because of this passage right here. There are plenty of Nabatean carvings in and around the passage, and it's really quite the experience to walk through it. And that area back there, Al Diwan, then the passage, but the bigger area is referred to today as Jabal Ithlib, which if translated to English would mean Mountain of Fingers or Finger Mountain. So very much so far feeling, to me, like a kind of smaller version of Petra. But I think that's a really fair statement to make, although it might sound like discounting the place or something, because this city was actually kind of the second city, the second enclave further in the desert, further away from Petra, beyond Wadi Rum and where all that is in Jordan now. And during the entirety of the time that the Nabateans lived here in Hegra, Petra always remained the heart of the Nabatean kingdom. And in that sense, it's also worth considering that this is a younger site in terms of historical Nabatean life and development that happened here. Well, I guess around 2,500 years ago, actually. Again, all of this way, way, way predates what Saudi Arabia looks like today, a very Islamic, strict society.
But the past is always connected to the present, and one other reason that Hegra is a very exciting place to visit these days is all of the archaeological activity going on here. Regardless of the quality of the particular tour that I'm on today, this kind of thing just wouldn't have been possible at all not so long ago. By the way, there is also one other group tour option, the Hop On Hop Off bus, which offers audio guides.
But this second bus just pulled up here, so I guess about every 30 minutes, a big busload of people rolls on through. And the second stop the tour makes is a bunch of tombs that were carved into this rock here.
This cemetery of sorts is known as Jabal al-Banat, which translates to something like Women's Palace. It's believed that all, or at least most of the tombs carved into this rock were burial places for Nabatean women.
And the rules visiting over here are pretty strict too, regardless of how you're visiting. There's only one tomb that you're allowed to enter. It's not this one. So we can just take a look from right here. Pretty big. The tomb is number 26, I've been told. So this is 40, 39. Somewhere way on the other side of the rock must be 26. Maybe we can take a better look inside that one.
It looks like my wife Rasa beat me to tomb number 26.
And it's actually kind of strange to enter someone's tomb. I'm just interested to see what's in here. Not all that much, to be honest. Thought there might be some carvings, something of significance, but it seems to just be an empty tomb. So, lots and lots of tombs here. And something else that I find really interesting out here is that back in Al Ula, around the old town and all that, you've got all these date farms, lots of little oases, and it's very green and lush almost. You can still feel that you're in the dry desert there, but it's very different from here where it's not quite completely barren. You do have little collections of trees and bushes and quite different flora and fauna here, I think, than just down the street. But it is a much different feeling over here than you would have over in the valley. And I would imagine it would be harder to live that well over here than it would be in and around where the old town of Al Ula is. So I'm certainly no expert on the history. I'm definitely just learning as I go.
And it's definitely worth keeping in mind that basically all of the info you can get here is about the Nabateans that created all of these structures that we're looking at. But even before the Nabateans found themselves here, carving stuff into rock, the Leonite Kingdom, also known as the Dadans, laid claim to this area for a while. If they would have also taken the time to build some cool tombs like this, we might be talking about them a little more. Just kidding. Although a visit to Hegra usually focuses on Nabatean history, I did also make a point of visiting some archaeological sites with more of a focus on the Dadas. I'll be taking you to those sites among others in a future Al Ula video, so make sure you subscribe to be the first to know when it drops. But as for the reason that the Nabateans stopped living here around 2,000 years ago,
well, the Romans came here and kicked them out, basically. It's kind of like a runaway or die type thing from my understanding.
But as for the tour that for me was simply the cheapest way to be able to access these sites, it wasn't going great.
But if you want, you can kind of get away from the organized tour. You know, they're just over there. And walk around and explore a little bit. But again, they're doing everything in Arabic for like the first 10 minutes of explanation. I can't understand them. And then comes the English. A more logical way to do it would obviously be just to do tours only in one language, but I think I would really like to come back either if they ever open it up for a self-drive thing or in a smaller group. But now that I've made my way up this little sand hill, let's call it, not really a dune, you get a nice view of what I believe is the largest tomb here. It's in the shade, but you can still see it's there, carved into that whole rock.
This big tomb is known as Qasr al-Farid, or something like the Lonely Castle or Lonely Tomb if you translate it. And what's really interesting about this one was that it was never actually finished or used. So as historians have put it, a very lucrative trade route went right through Hegra. As the Nabateans grew more wealthy and more powerful in the region, it's said that one expression of their wealth can be seen in tombs like this one.
But what a place. And there's one more little stop they take you to. This one they refer to as the Red Rock. It's another set of tombs, like those other two stops we made. But this one is notable because they actually found human remains here. And I mean, is for this tour, they like really rush you around. Actually, the tour guide is just she was just yelling at me to come back because the tour is over and there's no more time to see stuff here, but I couldn't at least go around the corner. Unfortunately, there is the actual tomb where they found the human remains. And there is an exhibit here, just a really small one. But it was kind of interesting to just walk through and learn a little bit about the history of, you know, how in 2014 they found those human remains, did the 3D imaging, and then determined that, well, yeah, kind of obvious. Nabateans just look like other people from the Middle East, more or less. There you have it. Hegra, or Madain Salih, so they're calling it in Arabic. Yes, an interesting place to visit. Probably, if you want to really get an idea of the place, go with like a private guide and a private car with the people that you've chosen to be with, because, well, I don't have to tell anyone what mass tourism looks like, but it might not be the best way to get much value out of visiting here. But I feel like I got a little value, so let's see what else we can find over here in and around Al Ula.
And what better than a nice extended drive through the desert? But while a few days ago I took a drive from Medina to get to Al Ula and really found myself isolated in the desert, over here it seemed like there was a construction site, a resort, or something else just about everywhere. So even though I only had a small economy rental car, I decided to get off-road a little bit.
It is just desert about forever out here. So you could just take your car, drive somewhere that's not fenced up, and park it over in the sand, like I'm doing right now, and just have a nice little walk around. This place is equally impressive in a different way. I mean, it's just nature here. I don't think there's much human history to talk about, but this stone's just been being chipped away at by the air for many, many more thousands of years than anybody inhabited this place. And you can see out here in the desert, all over the place, you're just surrounded by these really beautiful rock formations. This little space here in between the rock formations is an oasis. They're growing dates over there, and they're definitely less than you'd find over right by Al Ula. I'm probably about 30 kilometers, 20 miles away from Al Ula. I mean, obviously there are things that are on, what is it, the Al Ula tourist bucket list. Visiting Hegra like I just did, or visiting Ash'ar Valley, visiting Old Town Al Ula. But to just be here, one with this beautiful desert nature, is something that shouldn't be undervalued. I mean, it's just a place that you have to be in yourself, I think. I don't think any camera will do this enough justice, but you can at least see what it looks like. And you can see that over there, there's a part of the wall that's flat that actually looks like it may have been carved or at least flattened by humans. So perhaps there were some Arab ancestors, let's say, who knows who, spending time over in this part of the desert as well. But one thing's for sure, there's just nothing at all on earth as powerful or as beautiful as nature. And as far as wildlife out here in the desert goes, I've been told there's actually quite a lot. As far as I know, there's definitely camels. You can see them around kind of all over the place in the desert in Saudi Arabia, though. Over here, there's supposed to be also something like a gazelle or something similar to a gazelle. And then foxes, lots of wild dogs, and also wolves. And as you walk through the desert, you can find bones pretty often. It's hard to tell what animal this bone is from for sure. but it actually looks to me like a jawbone because it looks like there's some, yeah, it's definitely a jawbone. There's some teeth there. So, possibly something that got eaten by wolves. And as a result of the really heavy rains last night, although I think they were a little bit less heavy here where I am than in the town of Alula where I was last night, where all the flooding was happening, you can see and feel that the soil is, well, not soil, sorry, but sand is still pretty damp. And the color of the rocks supposedly also comes out a lot more during this time after any rain. So you can really see the red here and the contrasting lighter orange next to the red. And I've just got my car parked over that way. But right near where I parked my car, well, there's all this nature. But there's this rock in the desert that's known as Elephant Rock. I mean, if you ask me, it might be more like a horse rock, but it is a rather impressive work of nature here. And they have very strange operating hours because this area, I mean, you could probably just go over the fence, to be honest, but I'm not going to try my luck and do that, although we can walk up to the fence. But the immediate area right around Elephant Rock isn't like free nature like everything here where I am, but is rather an enclosed area. I think it's free to visit, so you don't have to like pay anything, but it only opens from 4:30 p.m. onward. So I guess you could come for the horse or elephant rock and then stay for all of this beauty.
But let me tell you, the desert makes you hungry. So I made my way back to Old Town Alula, which is a really beautiful drive, by the way. And at first I had a little bit of trouble finding a place to eat just because the town was still partially flooded. But soon enough, I found myself drawn to the smell of succulent shawarma.
I've never seen any shawarma like that. Hi, how are you? We would like that. What is that called? Chicken charcoal?
Yes, the chicken shawarma, the authentic original one. It's called charcoal chocolate.
Okay. Okay.
So it gets that face up on the chocolate. So something that's so amazing.
Looks special too.
Yes, we're very known for it.
Okay. Let's take 2 of those, please.
It can come in Arabic style where the whole rocket gets cut into 6 pieces and it comes with fries.
Okay.
So if you want one,
You recommend that?
it's the same exact thing, almost same price, but it comes with French fries.
Yeah.
With extra sauces.
This is like the famous fries.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Swedish fries.
Let's do that one. 2 of those. Yeah.
So 2 of the Arabic style.
Yeah, 2 of the Arabic style.
Do you guys want some cheese on it?
Do you recommend that? Or?
I like it authentic.
I think it would. I never eat shawarma with cheese, to be honest, but
Right.
okay, okay.
You got it. You guys want fresh mango?
Okay, well, I'll
We
take
have a
one.
very known
Yeah.
fresh mango here.
Okay, I'll take 1 of those.
I got the mango on us. It's for free.
Shukran.
You're most welcome.
Right.
So your total comes up to 64 riyal for the 2
Okay.
Arabic and a bar.
Perfect. And this is just a little fast food joint, but they have one guy on the shawarma, one guy on the grilling station, one guy on the fry station, then one guy doing the final condiments and cutting up the shawarma if you order the Arabic rendition of it.
5 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Shukran. Bye. So the place is called Habteen, and it's just right over there, but there's like almost no seating, so you can just come sit outside in the old town anywhere you want for free. It all starts with a wet hand wipe. It smells like lemon. And the food, it looks kind of like Five Guys, but Saudi Arabian or something. They give you a garlic sauce in the bag. They give you what I assume is a spicy, maybe harissa-based sauce in the bag. And a bunch of fries. Not quite as good as Five Guys, but tastes pretty nice. And this re-grilled shawarma, I guess you could call it. It's a really nice mix of lemon, pepper, chicken, salt, and perhaps a few other spices that I'm not sure what they are. This is good. Spicy Ivar. Garlic sauce. A unique shawarma, no doubt. And, well, If I had one of these where I lived, I'd go there at least once a week. And I was basically commanded to wash it down with this mango drink. Boy, that's quite good. I was thinking this was gonna be with some milk or something. Basically just tastes like mango, and mango.
Now, the really crazy thing that I didn't realize until right now was that the guy that had rung me up and given me a free mango drink was actually the owner of the restaurant.
So I got great experience when it comes to marketing, handling the internal operations when it comes to food and beverage.
Okay.
Because it's so tricky owning like a restaurant.
Yeah. I've worked in a lot of restaurants, but I've never like owned one. But
Okay, cool.
from that perspective, I can say it's hard to work there too.
Right. Yes. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, no more clients. So let's
Fair
open
enough.
my own baby.
Where are you from originally though?
I'm originally Saudi
Saudi?
Arabian.
Yeah. Which city?
From Jeddah.
Okay, cool.
Yes, cool.
We were just there for like 10 days. It's also
Oh, did you guys like it?
yeah,
It's lovely. I love Jeddah so much.
yeah, by the sea. That's good air, right?
Yeah, Red Sea. Red Sea is like one of the best seas in the world.
Yeah, amazing.
You guys, best of luck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to our country.
Thank you so much.
You guys are
Shukran.
most welcome. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. But as much as I had enjoyed my meal, fast food is fast food, and it's really a good idea to take a long walk after eating it. Lucky for me, just across the street from the Old Town, you've got the Oasis Heritage Trail. Part of it takes you through the historic dwellings that were used for living in during the summer. You get a unique view of the Old Town and its surroundings, and I mean, it's just really impressive what people managed to build out of natural materials all around the world. But as the trail continues, you find yourself walking through date farms and other farming operations. So from the millennia-old history out in the desert to a brand new shawarma chain that was pretty darn good, that was quite the day. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching my videos. It means the world to me that I can travel the world, document my travels, and share it in these useful and insightful and hopefully inspirational videos with you. If you do like this one, make sure to give it a like. And do make sure you're subscribed to stay in the know about new videos. And I have over 100 no longer new videos that you can watch right now. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video.